So yesterday, the Stanley Cup winning Pittsburgh Penguins re-signed one of the key pieces of their lineup, Brian Dumoulin, to a 6-year contract, with an AAV of 4.1 million. So his cap hit's 4.1 million for the next 6 years. He was a Dumoulin big part of their Stanley Cup run, averaged 22 minutes a night, which is a pretty big feat. Definitely no Ryan Suter minutes, but it's a pretty big feat. He had 15 points, but his job really wasn't to score goals. But yeah, his cap is going to be 4.1 million. But if you look at it and compare him to some other players with a cap hit of 4.1 million, you have Nicholas Chalmerson, and to me, by no means is Dumoulin Nicholas Chalmerson. So, and then you also have John Klingberg, which Jonathan Ericsson, who's definitely better than Oscar Klefbom, who I'd say he's just around the same player. Jonas Brodin, who I think is maybe a little bit better than Dumoulin. And if you look at it, and then you also have Adam Larson, who to me is really underrated, and Adam Larson's really good. Alexei Emelin, who Dumoulin's probably better than. Scandella, who I think is overpaid. Roman Josi, who's way better than Dumoulin. Chris Russell, who's better than Dumoulin. Fowler, better than Dumoulin. Jacob Muzzin, better than Dumoulin. Alec Martinez, better than Dumoulin. So I'd say Dumoulin's around market value, if that's what you want to go with. I mean, he's definitely a key piece. Held their blue line intact, definitely stepped up in the playoffs and played a really good defensive game on a very, very offensive Pittsburgh team. I mean, if you look at it, Pittsburgh re-signing, they have an arbitration hearing with Connor Sheary, which I think Connor Sheary's probably going to get moved out, but it's for a different time. The only really players that have lost this offseason is Ron Hainsey, who's going to be replaced by Chris Letang, so that doesn't hurt them at all. Bonino, that I don't think that's going to hurt them that much. So Pittsburgh keeps their Stanley Cup roster intact. Dumoulin gets $4.1 million. Is he worth it? And the question is Dumoulin worth $4.1 million? And that's a yes. If you pay him any more than $4.5 million to me, he's overpaid. And if you got him for like $3.5 million, that's a steal of a contract. He's just one of those guys where it's like the range of that is small because it's hard to tell. Like his stats don't pop out and show he's a really, really, really good defenseman. But his defensive stats and like his advanced stats show that he is a good defenseman, and he compares around market value for the type of defenseman you're getting. You're getting a top defensive defenseman, a good defensive defenseman that by no means is a team winning a Stanley Cup without a good defensive defenseman. And some other signings, Connor Hellebuyck was given a 1-year, $2.275 million deal. This is pretty much just a bridge contract to see if he gets any better. I don't see him developing that much because when they brought in Steve Mason, if you're trying to develop Hellebuyck more, it's not going to help with having Steve Mason who catches with his right hand and Hellebuyck that catches with his left hand, because it's not good with the goalie coach if you have one goalie that catches one way and another goalie that catches the other way, especially when you need to develop a goalie into an NHL starter, which is not an easy task. Also, Ottawa signs Johnny Oduya to a 1-year contract. No, I think it was like a 2-year, $1 million a year contract. Yeah. So that's not a bad signing. They need someone to step into the absence of Mark Mathot. He should be able to do that by just playing defense. So everything should be good there. And yeah. There's one more signing. Colin Wilson gets a 3-year, $1.1 million a year. So, and that's by no means is that a bad contract. Nashville has to keep their depth because that's kind of where they went down last year, their depth. So yeah, they keep it there, and I'm trying to find Brian Dumoulin's hero chart. Is it? But yeah, so the Penguins keep their Stanley Cup roster intact. Dumoulin gets shoot. So his hero chart has him as, so he's not a number one defender, but it has him as about a second pairing defender. But he'll probably be playing first line match. No, a number two defenseman is what it has him as. So his advanced stats show him as a number two defenseman. For a number two defenseman, you're paying $4.1 million. That's by no means is that bad. And then you have Chris Letang coming back next year, so you can have Dumoulin, who's very good defensively, not good offensively on the left side, and you have Letang, who's good offensively and not good defensively on the right side. So that'll probably be a top pairing in the league next year, kind of like Carlson and Mathot. But by no means is Dumoulin Mathot, and by no means is Letang Carlson. But tell me what you guys think of these signings in the comments below. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching.